Hello, folks. Welcome to the dumbest automotive diecast customization and modification channel in all of YouTube. Oh boy, do we have a special one for you today. We got in touch with Tyler Hoover from Hoovie's Garage and got permission to do a very special car for him. That's right, it's his 25th anniversary 1989 Lamborghini Countach. He also challenged us to push our 3D printing limitations, so we're going to put together his bend pack lift for him. Don't worry, aside from the rims, this should be the only Tinkercad session we do on this build. I have to admit to being a little slow on this one. While emailing back and forth with him, I found out exactly how knowledgeable about Lamborghinis I was not. I'd originally thought that all Countaches were created equal, but I was wrong. Turns out that the Countach became all but a different car from its inception in the 70s to its final run in the 90s. The version that he has is a quote-unquote tall car. It also has fuel injection, a ground effects kit, and innumerable other upgrades over its initial counterpart. Enough chit-chat. Let's get started. You'll see that I lost my good ball grinder in the move, so I was trying to get the pegs out with one small ball grinder that just didn't work. That forced me to have to go to Lowe's and get the correct one. It's amazing what you can do with the proper tools. Well, that's a blessing. The interior is already red. I'll only have to black out the steering wheel cover and the dashboard. Since the base is metal, I'm going to have to wrestle out the axle and cut a trench to make sure it'll roll. These axles absolutely do not want to come out. I will triumph, though. You'll see that the tail fin has suffered an impact. Once the car is stripped, I'll bend it back into shape. And now to cut the axle trenches. Alright, let's get this off to the goo. What do you say? I forgot. Now I get to show you our new super high-tech paint booth. Alright, let's move on to the 3D design for the classic Countach rims. Here's an interesting fact. The rear tire on the real car is a 345/35 ZR15. In 1/64 scale, that puts it around 5 millimeters. But perfect tire sizes aren't exactly Mattel's forte. They'll actually have to be around 8 millimeters wide to look correct on this model. Alright, let's get that body cleared off and into primer. I had hoped to get a shop with running water to avoid this. Don't tell Foggy I'm cleaning off Stripper in the new house. Before we prime it, let's get that tail fin fixed first.
Ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Well, there's another issue to take care of. I really don't know my own strength sometimes. I managed not to screw up the other side, so let's get that body polished up and fix the spoiler. There are so many nooks and crannies on this car, it's a wonder the real one can move through the air at all. The spoiler will never be perfect again, but it's pretty damn close. Let's get onto that interior. I know that I don't actually have to do this, but I guess I'm a stickler for the more obvious details. And this is how it looks after the initial print of the rims. It's not terrible, but I think I can do better. And back to the paint booth for primer. Once I get the bottom sprayed, I'll add some details with my paint pens. Like so. Since the primer was already white, I didn't figure you'd need to see me putting white paint on it as well. Here's the clear coat. It's basically the same result. The dash and steering wheel clearly need more black, so I'll finish that up before my final test fit. I might as well test fit the wheels while I'm at it. While the rears look pretty good, the fronts, well, they leave something to be desired. I'm going to rework those before assembly. I don't think it looks terrible all in all. It occurred to me that without the axle clamps, there would be no way for the axle to roll. I'm going to put in some plastic plates to remedy that. And while the reworked front rims are printing, I'll do a test fitting and make sure I haven't mucked anything up. My new braces were in the way of the pegs a bit, so they had to be trimmed. That's better. Now that I'm relatively satisfied with everything, I'll paint on the taillights. I suppose that's about it. How about those glamour shots, huh?